All right. Let me get the chat. I can't find the chat. Shit. Here it is. Broadcast is muted. Click to unmute. Oh, here we go. I was muting myself. All right. I think I have it up and running now. All right. Hello from the Netherlands. I'm here to understand the perfect time of buying and selling. Well, there is no perfect time to buy and sell, my friend. But hopefully you get the meat and potatoes. No sound. Is there sound? Should be. This is my first time buying stocks. How do I get into it? Oof. Well, welcome. Stick around. You'll learn. For sure. Untie that. Let me know if I have sound. Glenn says, I can hear you. I think that's on YouTube, though. Where's the other chat? We're back on StreamYards. Sound is good. Roll Tide, baby. Got some Bama. Ooh, some Oracle. I wouldn't mind buying some Oracle. Some in the money Oracle calls. It's not horrible. All right, let's get into the day. Okay, perfect. We are live. All right. It's 1:31. I did shoot, watch for a new YouTube video. I don't know when it's going out. I'm pretty slammed. Joey sent me an image next couple hours. And if anyone's ever been to a wellness retreat, let me know. I've been looking at some to go with my girlfriend. So another big day for us. I mean, I don't know how much better things can get going in the market, gang. Eventually, this thing is going to crack. But as long as the bears are still bearish, it might not. So kind of today, the whole party was the crypto names, Mara, Riot, and then the cannabis stocks. You can see Tilray, 42%, CGC, 15%, Galaxy, 10%, Hood, Crypto, 9%, and then back to our old friends, ONDS, Peabody, NBIS, Oklo, BE, Circle, Galaxy. I mean, kind of the names we've been talking the past few weeks. Right back into it. So right back into the growth stocks. So these names, lots of shorts in them. I'll show you what I mean. And if you're in the option pit, these were the names we called out this morning. A lot of shorts in these names. Riot, 22%. Mara, 30%. So a lot of people are betting against these companies. So the moves have been pretty parabolic. And we started seeing Mara calls, right off the gate today. And, it's kind of a sweet and sour scenario because they started hitting calls first thing this morning, 9:49, 9:50, 10. So right in here, stock's up about $1.30. It was the same with Cliff. They bought those Cliff calls, right here. Where were we? First volume spike. And, if you didn't get in, here, they bought them, where's it, 1040 right here. That's a 60-cent move. That's a huge move in the stock. It's about 5% higher. If you didn't get in, this trader made over $500,000 in like 8 minutes. So if you didn't get in, they bought them at 19. They're 38 right now. I hate to say you're too late, but kind of too late. Not saying they won't go higher, but obviously the big move already happened in a lot of stocks today out there. Yeah, Carl says his Mara options are up 100%. But that's the market. It's quick, it's aggressive. The one thing I try to tell you guys and girls is to be proactive, not reactive. So let's do a quick, and then we're going to talk about Tesla here. Let's do a quick sentiment check from what all the other gurus, talking heads, mainstream media is telling y'all to do. And then we'll do the complete opposite still, because that's how we've done our big moves, right? These past few weeks is just by being a contrarian out there. So let's see what the story is. EA, there were some calls, they got bought out. I don't see too many government shutdown headlines anymore. If you recall, all the government shutdown headlines were like the top thing last week. So we closed out cruise liners, about 60% in each. So remember, Friday or cheat sheet shared Carnival, Norwegian, Mags. They all did great today. RKT, don't forget RKT. If you're not in it yet, don't forget that little piggy. But pretty much worked like a charm. You see about $600 in Norwegian calls that we bought last week. So I really can't get any better. And then today, straight into crypto, cannabis, growth stocks. The only red flag I would say is the Russell. The Russell 2000 is very weak. That's the name the media pumped the other week when it hit new highs. And it's down about 2% off those highs. So from where they pumped it. So obviously when retail and the media tell you to buy a stock, what's going to happen? It's going to go lower, right? It just, that the sentiment is the way. It's always going to work that way. So today, let's see what the talking heads are telling y'all to do so we can do the complete opposite. So let's look at the CNN fear index and see where we're at, because that is probably my favorite gauge. We're still neutral, so the market has a lot of room to go up. So let's go set 29, talking points, fear, greed index, 52. Neutral still. So if it's neutral, the closer we get to fear, the more the markets are going to go up. The more we get into greed, extreme greed, the more the markets are going to go down. So as long as we can stay down here, when people are fearful and neutral, the market will continue to go up. So that's good. All right. So the CNN's already talking about government shutdowns again and saying this time is going to be different for the economy. So again, that was already priced in last week. So government shutdown was already priced in last week. The market went down and then it actually finished the week flat. So really didn't do anything. But what is the other talking heads telling y'all to do? Not euphoric, but it's neutral. Okay. Media is now getting very bullish. Oh no, really? Nicholas says the media now is getting very bullish. Multiple banks predicting 7,000 on SPX by year end. Oh, I hate hearing that. Oh, I hate hearing that, but Mark Chalkin is calling a crash coming. All right, well, he's a talking head. So that's good. So the markets are going to go higher. You might get a crash if the government shut down, but it's going to be a 2% dip and it's going to get bought. All right, what else? What are all the newsletters, the people on the webinars, what are they all saying? Let's see what else they're saying. Are y'all getting any puts? Is anyone telling you to buy puts yet? That's usually the best sign. KL still holding Peabody. We're great. Is anyone telling y'all to buy puts yet? Or is it still, what was the story of the past couple weeks? Wait for pullback. And what was the other one? Be defensive. Are they still saying that? Or did they throw in the towel? And now they're just saying, screw it, bye. Survey gives a shutdown of 68% now. Okay, so it's pretty high. Shutdown causes 5 to 7% fall in stocks from T-Buzz. Oh, T-Buzz is drinking the doomsday Kool-Aid. I think we get a 2% dip, not a 5 to 7%. Quantum is overvalued, overextended. I mean, it's just consolidation. They ran up like literally doubled in stock price in like a month. So yeah, I mean, I do get that point. What else? Keep hearing to buy gold because Russia, US hot war. It's kind of late to the party. More bullish this week than last week, I'd say. Why, thank you. All right. So I would say all in all, we need to be a little, so this is from chat. I would say we need to be a little bit, I would say we need to be a little flexible. So my opinion, be flexible. Meaning, so what does that mean? Be flexible. I think you just can't go out and buy. So AKA, don't be dumb long. Like, put it this way. When I say don't be dumb long, don't go buy Apple weekly calls hoping it rallies $5. I think that's a little hard to do. I think you need to pick your spots selectively. Meaning, let's say you normally put 10 grand in a position, put 2 or put 3 or put 4. And if it goes down, you can always add another 2, 3, 4, right? So give yourself flexibility to add to different spots if you're wrong. Now, some names I do like, BHP from those calls last week. They gave you a chance to add on Friday, those BHP calls. And they did very, very well. BHP, kind of stocks that aren't too crazy. It's up almost 3% today. That's a huge move for that stock. Cliff. So I'll put a couple names down here. So Cliff did good. If you get a pullback, BHP pullback. BE, you had your pullback last week. Now it's at 74. So you already had that move. Circle, Core Wave, both strong. Peabody, you probably won't get a pullback because the news already came out today with coal. Oh, one name to keep an eye on. I mentioned this in the option pit. Double R. It's a robotic company. I don't know if this is like a newsletter pump job or what, but I started seeing some heavy volume late Friday in that one. In the double R. And another one, again, I don't know if this is a newsletter pump job or what. You just can't trust the big newsletters anymore. EU. And then if you see any UEC, UUU, same horse and pony show. Oklo, USAR, always be on the lookout for those as well. Those have been pretty hot. And then I would not even discount names like Supermicro and Rigetti and QBTS from quantum stocks. Even, I still stand by NVIDIA 200 print. Probably by end of the month. So be on the lookout for NVIDIA 200. Same with Oklo, as long as you get market to hold. So still pretty bullish, just not being super aggressive. Today, all we did was day trade Cliff. That's pretty much it, because they move so much already intraday. So nothing too crazy. I wouldn't do. Again, the big money was made over the past 3 to 4 weeks or so on the big run up we had already. Now, one name I love, if I can find all my sheets here, let me pull it up here. PayPal just had some OpenAI news. So we were, oh, Christian, you didn't send out the profit target for PayPal? It's 2 cents away.
Yeah, it didn't quite get there. I thought we were gonna.
They had some OpenAI news that just hit, and Etsy. But one name I really love is, let's see if I can find my sheet. Christian, can you mute me or mute you? I hear my stuff in the background, my voice. One name I'm very bullish on, speaking of robotics, is Tesla, as y'all know, especially in the robotic division. And we actually just saw some Tesla calls hit. Wow, it's a pretty big order. So someone's going to front run me and buy weekly calls now. But one name I'm super bullish on is Mr. Tesla himself. That is a picture of me. I'm not wearing that shirt, but it's in the closet. But mostly from their AI, robotics, and autonomous driving. Now, the big thing here in September, we saw a massive, massive squeeze, kind of like what I was talking about with those names, Morrow, Riot, and in the cannabis, the crypto and cannabis, lots of short sellers have to cover. And right now, I would agree with y'all. Oh yeah, SanDisk too. Yeah, I got about 100% SanDisk from the scanner too. Forgot about that one. Great job, Liberty. We actually got 450 already. We got 450 this morning, 450.98. So with all the bears still drinking their Kool-Aid in the bear camp, and y'all know, I mean, y'all were telling me what, the past 2 weeks, everyone was telling you, even the gurus here were telling you to be bearish and be scared and be defensive and all that stuff. Well, what happened? You know, they got crushed and we crushed it. You know, we literally made our year in the past couple of weeks. So the reason why I'm so bullish, even after this big run up, is people are now talking about the big robotic push. It is the hottest thing on Wall Street, and you heard it here first that you're going to see. Yes, AI, but more importantly, robots. And they have their Optimus robot. Now they have a gold one. It looks like C-3PO, if you're a Star Wars fan. And it's pretty cool. It can deadlift 150 pounds. Now it can fold your clothes. It can cook. It can be like your personal housemaid here. So their Optimus version 3 is gearing up to transform any industry from manufacturing, logistics, and Elon Musk is projecting it could account for 80% of the value down the road. Plus their AI5 chip is boosting autonomy and robotic capabilities. So you might think, Lance, how much is a robot? Well, he wants to get it down to about 20 to 25,000 a robot, which is, in my opinion, extremely cheap. Low cost, we'll say. Cheap's not a great word. Also, the big thing here, we started seeing some lift puts today, which I found interesting. Maybe it has something to do with their autonomous driving boom. It's pretty cool. I know a lot of y'all saw that the other month with their autonomous driving, expanding to cities like Austin, San Fran, I think even Chicago last week they announced for their self-driving. And it's funny because I saw a user say, hey, it only cost me $6 a trip. And I said, well, y'all remember Uber like 3 or 4 years ago? You could take an Uber to a sports game or the airport and it costs you 10, 12 bucks. And now that same Uber is costing you 50, 60 bucks. So definitely got to scale that. And then, of course, the relentless innovation. So the big thing right now is that the EV tax credit is coming to an end. You might have saw the vehicles, car lots and dealerships advertise them a lot lately. So in Tesla, you have monthly deliveries starting the first week of October, so that's coming up here. But you also have the earnings on October 22nd. So we're going to see how those sales were and those numbers out there. Now, technically, we are in a volume breakout. Obviously, a lot of y'all know, if you're part of the Perfect Tesla program, we've been very, very aggressive trading it and done very, very well. And we went to a 4-month consolidation period. Basically, I always say consolidation is very healthy. So even my hope is we kind of consolidate around 440 to 450 over these next few days. And then we have our next leg up to 488.5. That gives us a move to 500. So consolidation, think of it like a spring. If you compress a spring long enough, what happens when you let go? It shoots up, right? That's the compression phase we were in pretty much the past 4 months. Up until recently, we took out the prior high. After the prior high, that gave us the move over 400. We shattered 400 on volume. We're now looking at 420 as support and all the way up to 450 as resistance. Next move, it could be a catalyst, upgrade, news, whatever it is, 488, then 500. That would retest the prior high, take out the prior high on volume, and we print 500. Now, that might be till October 22nd. I don't have a crystal ball, but you can see it's starting to get your Silicon Valley folks out there. Here it is, $6 for the robo-taxi. Pretty cool. So I am permabull, to say the least, and I want to continue to be bullish and add as much as I can. Now, we were just up 40% on our trade we did Thursday, but I said, you know what? I'm in this for the long run. So I know a lot of y'all took profits in some of the position, but I love it so much. I think there's more opportunity ahead. And with new opportunity, that's all we can ask for in the markets, because new opportunity presents a chance for us to capture the big move. So I'm going to get into my class of the Tesla and my prediction for this week and why we are still rolling in hot. Please note, and Christian will monitor the chat too out there, that the examples, we go back from July 20, 2023 till 9/12/2025. The average win rate on live published issued trades is 73.6%. The average return with options on both wins and losses is 23.09% over an average 4-day hold period. Now, we cannot guarantee future results using the strategy, and there's always a high degree of risk. See the terms on the Trading Pub homepage, of course. And of course, please use proper risk. There's no perfect system that only prints out winning trades. The purpose of my work is to help give you an edge in the markets. Don't trade with money you can afford to lose, all that jazz. If you are an adult, then you understand risk, please. And last year, I've been talking so much, I have to use my throat spray. Yes, it's a real thing. I bought it at Walgreens. I gave a prediction. I said Tesla will hit 400 this year. And some people thought I was cuckoo, which I am. I mean, and they were right. 10 months since that prediction, Tesla share price not only exceeded my price target, now my numbness tongue, but we gained about 70% and still rolling in hot. As y'all know, I have a lot of my big book in Tesla and Tesla derivatives, and that's been extremely good for our perfect Tesla trades. If you've been following along, then you know we've nailed 35 Tesla opportunities, up to $19K in profits, including wins and loss based on a $2,500 stake. And if you missed out, don't sweat it. No, don't sweat it. Don't worry. Glad you're here. Today, I'm going to show you how to tag along for the next Tesla opportunity, because it starts with what you see right here on the chart. It's simplistic, which is kind of my goal. Keep it simple, Sally. It's simplistic, but it helps you tell the best and worst times to target Tesla stock. When the line right here is green, it means we're in a bullish trading cycle. And as long as we open up a basic weekly trade, we can target gains around 100% or more in 6 days or less. Let me show you how it works. If you don't remember, back in January, it was tough. Optimism was at an all-time low, and we were at 16 on the fear green index, meaning we were extreme fear. And most 401ks were under the water. Tesla shares went down $200. Wow.